Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into something crucial, the patent portfolio. Our mission really is to understand why it's so much more than just a pile of patents. It's about, strategic protection. It's about competitive advantage, maximizing value. And honestly, some of the insights might surprise you how even smaller players can use big company tactics.
Absolutely. And this is, well, it's fundamental for anyone involved in innovation or business strategy, or even just thinking about how to protect valuable ideas effectively.
Okay, so let's start basic. What exactly is a patent portfolio and what's its main job, its core purpose?
Right. So simply put, it's just a collection of patents owned by, a person or a company. Its real purpose. It's about figuring out economic value, making sure you stay competitive, and also spotting market opportunities or, frankly, risks like substitute tech popping up.
Okay, so definitely more than just one patent then. Our sources kept hitting this idea of strength in numbers, that multiple patents give you protection that's somehow greater than the sum of its parts. How does that work? How can two patents be stronger together than just, adding up their individual protections? How does it really handcuff someone?
Yeah, that's where the real strategy kicks in. See, to get around one patent, a competitor usually just needs to avoid one specific feature described in each legal claim.
Okay, yeah. One feature per claim.
But if you hold a second patent on the same tech, but it's different enough, well, now they've got a bigger problem. They need to omit two features or find workarounds for claims in both patents. And it just gets harder and harder with each extra patent you strategically add.
Ah, so it compounds.
Exactly, a compound. And think about this too. Trying to invalidate your patents in court. Attacking the whole portfolio is way harder, much more uncertain for them than just going after a single patent.
Wow, okay. So it's not just a wall, it's like a legal minefield for competitors. That does sound powerful, but building that minefield, that brings up the practical side. Patents cost money, filing them, prosecuting them. That whole process isn't cheap.
It really isn't. And that leads to a critical question. Resource allocation. How do companies manage the budget? And it's not just small companies or startups worrying about this. Even huge corporations have limits on their IP spend. So making smart, strategic decisions is absolutely key to getting the best return on that investment.
Makes total sense. So it's clearly not about racking up numbers just for show. Our sources really stress protecting what's actually valuable. A patent gives you that negative right,
Right.
the power to stop others, but you shouldn't just patent everything under the sun.
No, definitely not. You got to focus. Focus the protection on what's genuinely unique and commercially valuable. And it needs to line up with the company's overall business goals. Think about the classic razor and blade strategy. If most of your money comes from selling the disposable blades, then maybe patent claims focused heavily on the blade itself are more valuable. Why? To stop competitors making only blades to fit your razor.
Right, protect the cash cow.
But conversely, maybe blocking the sale of the razor handle itself, even if it makes less direct profit, could totally disrupt a competitor's whole business. If they need your razor design to sell their own blades, for example.
Ah, so hitting them strategically, not just where the immediate money is.
Precisely. Protecting the razor might be the smarter strategic move for leverage. And, the best approach also depends on who you're up against. Are they making just blades or the whole system?
Yeah.
That changes your claim strategy.
That's actually a really sharp point. Thinking about disrupting the model, not just the product, I hadn't quite framed claim scope that way. It often feels like only the giants, the big companies with massive R&D can really play this portfolio game effectively.
Well, yes, they certainly dominate the lists of patent owners because they have the resources, that's true. But, and this is the crucial part, the strategies they use. Building that layered protection, focusing claims, those can absolutely be applied by smaller companies, just, at a different scale.
So even a startup can think this way.
They should think this way. Maybe they have one killer component. Instead of patenting everything vaguely related, they focus hard on protecting that core piece in different ways, making it indispensable. It really comes down to balance. Yes, multiple patents give you strength, but you need careful choices to manage the costs and make sure you're locking down the features that truly matter commercially.
So wrapping this up for you, our listener, a patent portfolio isn't static. It's a dynamic tool. And when you manage it strategically, it can be incredibly powerful. It's really not just about having patents, but having the right patents that shield your core ideas and your business strategy.
And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Given how fast technology changes, how quickly markets get disrupted these days, how can businesses proactively adjust their patent strategies? to protect themselves not just now, but against future threats and competitive shifts that maybe we can't even fully see yet. That's something worth mulling over.